What's up everybody, Jesse here, and just days before E3 officially begins, Best Buy is keeping with tradition and has leaked 3 potential Nintendo Switch games: Smash Bros., Pikmin World, and Dragon Quest XI. Now, Best Buy has been contacted and has released a statement saying the placeholders were a mistake. But if we're being serious for a moment, Best Buy is kind of obligated to deny the games. I mean, as many games as Amazon has leaked that turned out to be true, they've never come out and said, hey guys, yeah, we screwed up. Those placeholders weren't supposed to go up until a few weeks from now, but Jesse's pretty dumb, and when it comes to stuff like this, he's not very reliable. So, sorry Nintendo, didn't mean to leak your games. No, they usually just take down the listings, and if they do say anything at all, it's always that it was a mistake or wasn't an actual listing. Then, sometimes a few days or a few weeks later, the official listing goes up. We've seen this many times. So, in Best Buy's leak, we have Smash Bros., Pikmin World, and Dragon Quest XI. I'll go over each of these individually and give my thoughts. But let me know in the comments below what you think of the leaks, and if you like news videos like this, be sure to subscribe because with E3 coming so soon, we're going to be covering a lot of news. In a way, none of these are a huge surprise. We've been hearing rumors of a Smash Bros. Game coming to the Switch since before the official name of the console was announced. Recently, we've even seen supposed screenshots of the game. We all know a Smash Bros. Will eventually come. This isn't necessarily a case of if it'll come out, just when it'll come out. So yes, this one is pretty believable. Moving on to Dragon Quest XI, I believe it's actually one of the first games confirmed to be coming to the Switch, or at least the NX as it was called at the time. A version has already released for the PlayStation 4 and 3DS in Japan, and the release date of the Switch version, which I imagine will be similar to the PS4 version, will likely be announced at E3. Finally, we have Pikmin World, which is a bit more complicated. Interviews in the past have hinted at Miyamoto working on a new Pikmin game. During several interviews, he confirmed that Pikmin 4 was actually in development. One of which he is quoted as saying, "We can confirm that Pikmin 4 is in development, but that is all we can confirm at present." Now, the rest of this about Pikmin World is just speculation, but I do have some facts and interviews quoted that can help determine the credibility of these games. It's interesting to note that Hey Pikmin for the Nintendo 3DS, the most recent title in the series, wasn't developed by Nintendo. It was actually worked on by Arzist, or at least I think that's how you pronounce their name, the studio behind the 3DS side-scroller, Yoshi's New Island, and the 3DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Miyamoto or someone else at Nintendo would have the final say in some of these projects, but they wouldn't be in charge of the day-to-day development of the game. Nintendo has even referred to Hey Pikmin as a spin-off game and not part of the main series. It's also interesting to see that Arzist Studio has a relatively small team and only works on 1 or 2 games at a time. Interviews with Miyamoto confirming the development of Pikmin 4 go all the way back as far as 2014, a year that Arzist Studio was working on Yoshi's New Island and Terra Battle. They likely didn't begin production of Hey Pikmin until the completion of the Mario and Sonic port in 2016. For those wondering, yes, it's very possible to finish a simple 2D non-HD game in a year or 2. The game Miyamoto was referring to would have likely been one that he was actively involved in the production of. At one time, he stated that he didn't actually know what console it would launch on, and that actually could have been true. At the time, they likely didn't know if they would continue the game on the Wii U or move it to the Switch, which probably wasn't even finalized at the time and was only a concept for a new console. My point is, I believe Miyamoto and Nintendo to be working on the next Pikmin game. If the Pikmin game was to be a 2D title, then obviously it would have been launching on the 3DS. But with Nintendo not wanting to announce anything for the upcoming Switch, or promise a game on the Wii U that may not even launch on it, it's likely that the best thing to do is just not say anything, which is what Miyamoto did. My point is, I believe Miyamoto and Nintendo to be working on the next Pikmin game, which Best Buy has called Pikmin World. And it's the game that Miyamoto was referring to in his past interviews. I think Hey Pikmin is exactly what Nintendo has called it, and wasn't what Nintendo or Miyamoto was talking about during those interviews. Pikmin is a smaller title and wouldn't necessarily get in the way of Splatoon or the new Mario game. I mean, imagine Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Splatoon, ARMS, and a couple of other big titles launching within the same year of each other. Yeah, it would be great for Nintendo, but it would also put them in a situation where they would likely end up losing money, because when 2 or 3 big games come out around the same time, it makes the consumer choose which to buy, and by the time they finish the game or are able to buy another game, a new game could come out and they skip the other title. This is why spacing is so good for games. So if Splatoon releases and then Pikmin comes out around the same time, most people are going to pick up Splatoon, and before they're able to buy another game, likely Pikmin, Mario Odyssey, or Smash Brothers could be out. So Pikmin basically gets skipped by those who aren't already a big fan. And with Nintendo already announcing all of these big titles, again, it would make sense for a smaller title like Pikmin to come out. That way if it gets skipped over, Nintendo isn't really missing out, as they would if Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Smash Brothers all 3 came out at the same time. Yeah, some people are likely to buy all 3 eventually, but most people would skip 1 or 2 and go for whatever the newest game that Nintendo's pushing at that time is, especially if it's a parent who isn't necessarily knowledgeable in the gaming community. So when they walk into Walmart, GameStop, or wherever, and they see a big sign or poster for whatever Nintendo or the store is promoting at the time, that's the game they're likely going to get. But what do I know? You guys probably know more than I do, so just comment below and let me know what you guys think about this. I want to thank you all for watching this video, and welcome to the End Slate. If you're a fan of these videos, please subscribe and comment below to let me know your thoughts. If you would like to support this channel, please consider supporting on Patreon, where you can watch videos like this early and help me create longer videos like the top 10 best and worst of Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, and the top 5 official Zelda games that have either been cancelled or just went unreleased. Finally, a huge thank you to this month's supporters: George Says Hi, Link Uses the Triforce, Transcendent Sacred Courage, Glenn Cassio, Prey Warrior, Victopedia, Rusty Caulfield, Robert W., Amanda Pina, Lunarium, Chris Gasparin, Harris Priest, Lovable Christie, Key of Time 15, Jerome Major, Daryl Quinnen, Furzin 16, Kadrin, Magic Tech Review, and The Itch Network.